This is Joseph Donahue, my great-great-uncle, who's going to be talking about some of his experiences from the war, 1939 to 1945, and his wife Lil.
Well, yes, it was
a blackout, wasn't it?
No, when the war started, yes,
Yeah.
but prior to the war. Prior to the war, I worked for the local tramway service for 2 years on permanent night duty. At 11 at night till 6 in the morning, till 7 in the morning. That was my... my social life was cut down a bit because it was a six night week,
It's social life,
which had one day off. Following on, I don't know, consecutively. So in effect, you work 7 nights, and you got a night off. That's the way it was. You're paid for 6 nights.
And
It was a labouring job, you know, sorting out all the trams as they came in and went out in the morning.
Which depot was that? Where was it?
Fuller Lane.
You called up.
Oh,
He did. He wouldn't
Sorry.
have, he wouldn't have done this.
1939. October 16, 1939.
how old were you?
20.
And what did your parents make of that?
So,
So what did your parents think of that?
well, my mother was a widow at the time, father died in 1935, so she wasn't very happy about it, but explained to her, couldn't do anything about it. Everybody had to go.
Were you happy to be going, or?
I don't think so.
He'd be crying his eyes out.
Did you have any brothers? You have brothers and sisters. Sorry, I don't know the background.
But
You had. Did you have any brothers and
14
sisters?
years older.
yeah, 5 sisters and a brother.
5 sisters
And a brother.
Girls.
and a brother. Okay,
Was your
My
brother
brother
also
was
called
10
up?
years older than me.
No,
he was 10 years older. Did he also get called up
Yeah, later on though.
Letters
Okay.
was
Later
children.
on though.
as they started younger and then moved up, didn't they?
Yeah, they started. Actually, it's a bit convoluted because they did the MOD so devious, it was unbelievable because they called up the 20-year-olds
Yeah.
and 18 was calling up.
Yes,
But we only worked it out about 30 years afterwards as an old comrade said, well, 20, born in 1919, we had a little show. And we started talking around the table, found out everybody was saying, well, my birthday's 6 months, my birthday, not 4 months. I said, well, my birthday was in January. We realised we were all born in the same year. So I questioned him, I said, well, you were born in 1919? Yeah, 1919. So that was what we think, that they found out that 1919, because the 1918 the war ended, so 1919 would be a boom year, children. So they just switched it to 20 years, 1939, to get the biggest intake of people by doing that. Because the next year it went down to 18, 1940.
Right.
They started calling them up at 18. So it was like, it was a scam really.
Yeah.
I was called up to a training camp called Kinmel Park in North Wales, and I was there for about I think about 4 months, 3 or 4 months in training. Then I was posted to a regiment in Ramsbottom called the 77th Medium Regiment.
And how did that prepare you for going to war?
Not very well because he didn't have anything to train us with. No, it's true. When we were called up, they had no uniform, no arms, no boots. We were doing marching drill on the square at Kinmel Park. Shoes on. Some blokes they wore right through. They had nothing to give us at all. When we were called up, they had. They gave us 2 sets of long johns, which nobody ever wore. Like 20-year-olds didn't wear them underwear in those days, but that was what they gave us. 2 colours. And a boiler suit, which we manufactured for somebody about 8'6" high, because you had to fold up to get your hands out, you had to fold it about 6 times, and to get your feet, you had to fold it about 6 times. So the middle part came out right there. So the only service stuff they gave you one belt. So you have the belt round. So when you did that, it looked like Michelin Man, you know, moved out of there and put out there. Yeah. So we were saying, if you get the German army to come over now and have a look at us, they'd all fall about laughing. We'd say the arms off them. Joke, you know. Yeah. But it was true. It was an absolute gang of clowns going round. People wouldn't believe it.
And you set sail in April 1942. You didn't know where you were going, but
no.
When did you find out?
Well, we found out a few days afterwards, really. I think it was, we were going westward on the Atlantic about 3 days, and everybody said, oh, that's right, you're giving us sun hats, so we're going to Iceland. Everybody guessed, you know, but about 3 days we turned south and headed down to next one, Freetown, and ran out of water. Mm. So we didn't know where we were going at any time. Until we got on the ship, the crew told us.
What was the accommodation like on the ship?
Well, it's non-existent really, and we got on in at Glasgow. I think I've forgotten the Great Burak, I think it is. It's the port of Glasgow. There's 5 big ships out on the thing. They took it out in tenders, went up a ladder and got into the door on the side and said to the bloke, "What's this ship going like?" "Oh, Duchess of Atholl." You go down 2 flights of stairs, so you get a heap of hammocks. You get a hammock. So we went down, there's nothing there, it was all gone. So actually I sat on a table which had bolted to the side of the ship. So you hop off it while they had the meals, get on it again at night.
And how many people were on the ship? How many people were on the ship?
I believe about 17,000 sleeping all over the place, you know.
And were there many ships together?
There were 5 ships together, yeah. There was Duchess of Atholl, Duchess of Bedford, Otranto, Empress of Japan. I've forgotten the other one now. But they used to go down, you know, 5 abreast, if you know what I mean. And then suddenly you find they were one behind the other. They were like zigzagging. You didn't notice it happening.
Nice.
So your final destination was
Suez, Ottoman Suez Canal, but we stopped in Cape Town. But the crew said, we'll stop in Cape Town, but you'd rather, better if you stopped in Durban, because Durban was all English people and they made a big fuss, took the blokes off the ships and took them for a meal. But Cape Town, nobody wanted to know. We just had to walk around Cape Town, you know, 48 hours.
So why did you sail all the way round Africa instead of
You couldn't
going
go
through
through the Mediterranean, you know, it was too dangerous.
Okay.
Why was it dangerous?
Pardon?
Why was it dangerous?
German U-boats, you know, in the Mediterranean, they're impassable.
And you were later in Cairo and you were trained as a surveyor. What did that kind of involve, being a surveyor?
Fixing the position of the guns where we were going to fire from. The more accurate we were fixing. You did your ordinary duties as well, but you trained by lectures. Yeah, we were into lecturing. I was in Pembroke Dock at the time, stationed there, and this little officer, Mr. Gerard, said he wanted me to be a surveyor, and I put all the obstacles I could and said, well, I've never done maths, I've only done arithmetic. I said, no, trigonometry, geometry. He said, do the maths, we'll show you. So I just finished with it. Well, I'd rather not do it, so I'd rather you did do it. So you started Monday morning in the lecture room, and they had no notebooks. So I couldn't understand what they were talking about, training, you know, because it came into geometry, you know. The sine, the cosine of this or that, and I'd never done anything like that. And the bloke said, and he said, well, just put put it in your head. He said, don't worry about it, just put it in your head, we'll tell you what to do. So they had no notebook, so I had a letter in my top pocket, so I put it on the back of the letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, what you had to do. I still had that when I was in the Western Desert, but to remember it. But it was, you know, it was absolutely a hoot. Stupid. Fellows teaching, I don't think he knew much more about it than we did. But anyway, classed as a surveyor, whether you like it or not.
Towards the end of October 1942, you would have been at the Katara Depression?
Yeah.
And you must have realised a large battle was coming. How did that make you feel?
Well, just the regiment was stationed there. It wasn't... Katara Depression was a big impassable place. Nothing could go into it. They took us down and showed us a towing vehicle, huge drum on the front with a wire, cable, you know, and he hooked it onto a jeep. Jeep drove in. I said, no, we're about 10 yards and start to go down, you know. So just proved that they weren't telling us a lie, you know, just proved it was true. Yeah. They just winched it out again. That proved that this thing, nothing could come through, so you were quite safe there. Nothing could come from the other side.
The Germans couldn't attack through that Katara?
No, they had to go right round, you know, I don't know how big it is, but it's a huge thing. They had to go right down the south and get round it. I think they tried it, but they found, you know, we sussed it out and we were waiting for them, our armour, I was waiting for them, so they gave up there.
Yeah.
And went back up north again.
There were some minefields though, weren't there?
Yeah, well, minefields all over the place.
So how did you cope with those?
Well, I don't know, I think the infantry and engineers cleared most of them, but we ran into a minefield once in Tunisia, and I drove my jeep over. It must have been a small mine. It blew the front wheel off, but nothing else, you know. I was okay, and the floor of the jeep was sandbagged, so that was it.
So who did you drove the jeep mainly? You mainly drove the jeep with the driver?
Yes, I was driving, yeah. Another Geordie lad was sitting beside me. And
you were ahead of the convoy, or?
No, our CO wouldn't go on the coast road because it was nose to tail, and the regiment lasted about half a mile or something like that. Bikes from up and down, so he opted to go on the desert where you could ride in a block, 10 or 12 abreast, you know. So he had like 10 or 12 vehicles and lines of them behind. It was simple, you know, much simpler and saving. That's how it comes through going to minefield.
So what was Alamein like? What was from your perspective?
From the point of view of artillery, nothing really except for handguns. It was the infantry and tanks were doing the job really. But if you go from Katara Depression to the coast, it was fought out there really by the infantry and tanks, but we were just firing from the other side of the Katara Depression.
And you were described about seeing, you know, pacifists who didn't want to take part, who were there but drove ambulances rather than take part in the combat. And you described one man being very brave. He was an American ambulance.
Oh yeah, he was a subconscious object, a Quaker, and he was the smallest chap in his 40s. We thought he was an old man because we were only 20 odd, and he had a hair lip and didn't help him talk and don't understanding him. But he'd come to us, and we didn't have huge casualties, so he'd go back over to the infantry and lift out their casualties. He'd come back to us once a month, something like that. We used to torment him, you know. Oh, hang on to this rifle all the time. And I'd go, oh no, we can't touch the rifle. He said, we'll lean against the ambulance. No, don't. The ambulance, it's a weapon of war. And he used to come and he found out he vanished one day and said, "Where's that Yankee? Hadn't been for ages." So somebody made inquiry and found out they'd been killed lifting out infantry further up north. You know, his ambulance got a directive from a water, killed them all.
Did you just become immune to hearing about people dying? Or
Probably, yeah, probably.
must have been frightening though.
Yeah, didn't matter fear, you know. Fear is optional, if you like it. If you were getting clobbered with shell fire, trying to get into a little sanger, and you hoped that if a shell landed, it killed you rather than blow your legs off, and that was about it. Frightened then, but after that, your war so never bothered you, really, in between.
Okay.
It's just certain times. It's a good thing for you, really. It's save your life, maybe. Yeah. One of my friends lived in Formley, Frank O'Connell, and he was in. He was a gunner, but he was on a gun crew, and the gun got a direct hit in southern Tunisia. I killed 3 of them, and wounded another one. And Frank said he had to take his leg from over his shoulder. It was nearly blown it off. And the one bloke miraculously didn't have a scratch. He said, "This fella saved my life by putting a tourniquet on my thigh." I was telling all about this because he went back to Benghazi to get a hospital ship, taken back to Alex, get a proper hospital. And they were in bunks, hospital ship. And the sister in charge came along. Frank was a big bloke, you know, about 6'2" and heavy with it. And he was on like a little bunk. And she came along and said, "We've got a German Panzer Grenadier who's bigger than you." He said, "Could we possibly move you to the top one?" So he said, "Yeah, we'll move to the top one," with a bit of a struggle. And they got this one, and she said, "He's not going to get to Alexandria, he's going to die." And which she did. But I told her the story to emphasise that the war should be forgotten, you know, enmity and that sort of thing. But she didn't put it in.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah,
That's the whole point of the story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, yeah.
So the German died then? On the
Yeah, he died, I believe, so Frank said before, calling for his mother. We went to, London, I went to Bavaria, the invitation of the Africa Corps about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Made a great fuss of us. Couldn't be bothered. And I finished up writing to a fellow in Hamburg.
Yeah.
He'd been in the desert, and he'd been taken prisoner. And he finished up in Warwickshire somewhere. And you know, the greatest country in the world was British, the way he was treated. Said he used to take them out for Sunday dinners, local civilians. The German prison camps, they couldn't get out of them. But the Germans were taken out for meals, and the local people. And he was, you know, like Bert Trautmann.
yes.
There was nothing like, no place like England. Marvellous.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
This Werner, his name was Werner Ray, and he used to go on about him, you know. So he gave me this card. We went there, you know, a visiting card, like fell asleep in the streets, I got a visiting card with their name and address and telephone number.
Yeah.
And him and a fellow off to the doctor in Barn, he was giving me his Christmas card, visiting card. I didn't decide to write to him, so I wrote to the other guy. We wrote for about 2 years, I think. I don't know if he passed on or not, but he was a postman in Hamburg.
Right.
And one of the letters he sent to me when he was retiring, his mates had put his picture on a stamp. I put it on the letter.
Nice.
You said we were. There's a difference. Oh. So,
Well, I think it's fair to say at school one of the things they do is the Normandy landings. So I'd like you to talk a little bit about that if you're happy to do that. Just talk about the Normandy landings and the campaign after that.
It'll be, as I say, you know, blood and thunder sort of landing, you know. It was
Yeah.
a simple thing. As it was late in the, well, it's the evening time. So that's all we did, you know.
How did you land? Did you land on an assault craft or did
Landing
you
craft.
a landing craft?
Yeah, yeah.
Which
Because
beaches?
when they take regiments to the artillery, then they split them up into different things. You know, we went from Sicily from Alexander to Sicily,
Yeah.
and I was on one boat. 3 batteries on 3 different boats.
Yeah.
6 boats went up. It's on the basis of survivability. Like if one gets bumped in the whole regiment south, they've lost them.
But when did you know? Before, there must have been rumours, because they'll have gathered you on the south coast, and there were all sorts of rumours that it was going to be at the Pas de Calais, it was going to be further up north. Nobody was absolutely sure where it was going to be.
Yeah.
So presumably, even once you got on the boat, did you get on the boat at Portsmouth or Plymouth or
Round about Brighton, I
Southampton?
think it was.
At Brighton?
Came the lorry through, and the bloke through a southerner said he'd just gone through Lewes.
Yeah,
And I knew there was a race course there, that's all I knew.
yeah,
But I knew it must be near Brighton, but just came onto the like a promenade,
yeah,
and there was a piece steps down onto the beach,
yeah,
and they had beaches all in mine since 1940.
yeah,
So they lifted, obviously lifted one about 50 yards wide,
yeah.
white tapes, and a landing craft at the bottom, just walked
Yeah.
down onto the land.
And you went all the way, because it's quite a long journey across the channel at that point there.
Yeah, it must have been, I
Yeah,
can't really remember what time it was. Which,
yeah. And when you got there, you basically would land, presumably then, the path had been cleared,
yeah.
mainly for you,
Yeah,
and so
all,
you were in.
all along the beach then was what they call beach block,
Yeah,
which is Army, Navy, Air Force
yeah,
sergeants and that sort of thing, whipping their people off the beach, you know, getting
Yeah.
them off the beach.
yeah.
It wasn't urgent then.
Where was it in France that they had all these British soldiers buried by the sea? A ship was landing and the Germans got it. And
Yeah.
all the soldiers that were on were killed.
Well,
And
might
they're
be,
Buried in France, aren't they?
I don't know,
right
might
by
be
the
buried, well
right by the
worst,
sea.
the worst
We
one,
went to look at the graves.
the worst one on there was when they were evacuating, and the Lancaster was in, I forgot, it wasn't Dunkirk, it was around the coast, and they landed, presumably, I believe they landed a bomb right down the funnel.
Yeah,
It blew the ship apart.
Yeah.
Oh God.
They're packed with blokes trying to get them away, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgotten
There were one or
that.
two elderly men that had survived it, and they were there looking at the graves of their friends when we went.
Oh, yes. Well, you must have been consider yourself very fortunate in many ways to have survived, you know, so many things really.
Yeah, 6 years of war, Uncle Joe. To
Pardon?
come through 6 years of war unscathed
Yeah,
is remarkable.
yeah, astonishing.
Yeah.
Well, not near as, I suppose, near as narrow escape you knew of, but there must have been dozens you didn't know anything about.
I know. Yeah.
so as a soldier you were going to Berlin really,
Yeah, yeah.
really to act as
They
part
were
of the
split into
occupation?
4 occupation zones, Russian, American, British and French.
That's right, yeah,
And we were to occupy the British zone.
yeah,
So it was this elite division, which was a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
So there was 7th Armoured Division, so they sent them up
yeah,
to occupy Berlin.
yeah,
And that was, of course, after the war, that was June, I think,
yeah.
45.
So Checkpoint Charlie and places like that, you'd go.
Well, that was inside Berlin, but they kept us waiting 3 days, the Russians, outside before they let us in.
yeah,
So antagonism right away.
yeah,
And you were stationed in the Olympic Stadium, weren't you? The one that was
Yeah.
built for the 1936 Olympics.
That's right, yeah. We were in 2 places before that, Gattel and Cladel, in barracks, German barracks. One was a load of rubbish, you know, it was falling down, but the second one was a very good one, but being occupied by the Russians,
yeah,
and they left it in a terrible state.
yeah.
The
So
Chamberlain went to Germany first before the war.
You did.
Came back and said there wasn't going to be a war, and everyone was delighted. then the next thing he said they declared war. So all the, like our mothers and that had gone through the First World War, and when he said there was not going to be a war, people were having a good time round.
Yeah.
Thinking
I
it was
think
going to
he was waving that paper and
That's right.
thinking to himself not a word of truth on it, not worth the paper it's written on.
And then
Old
afterwards,
Neville Chamberlain.
they were all upset, you know, all the mothers, because they knew what it was all about.
Well, he couldn't bring in conscription immediately in the autumn of 38, but he brought it in the spring of 1939. Oh, he left 6 months.
How long did you stay in Berlin for? How long were you there?
June it'd be till 6 months, 8 months, about 8 or 9 months. I can't see right. But he shifted us to Westphalia, ready for demobilisation.
Oh, yeah.
That thing just simply left us jammed when we went into Berlin. It was in such a state, you wouldn't believe it, you know, that the two huge streets or roads, Charlottenburg, Chaussee and Cape Dorfsten Dam,
Yeah.
down to the Brandenburg Gate.
Yeah.
And the big what I'm calling in the middle of separating the two roads.
Yeah.
It was that wide that they had U-Bahn, underground station
Yeah.
entrance and all that. And because that was full up to the top with sewage, that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
We were saying, well, 12 months before they get us going this thing, you know, it's a terrible job.
Yeah.
They've got no tools or anything. And we were riding on those undergrounds about 8 weeks afterwards.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
so
we
they've-
just got stuck into it.
yeah, yeah.
How long were you away from Britain during World War One?
Two.
Sorry, World War Two. Sorry.
Okay. You're saying how long were you away?
Yeah, about 6 3/4 years. I call it 7 years, but probably 6 3/4 to be precise.
And what was it like to return back to being a civilian? Like, leaving the army?
Well, I just relaxed and I came back because everybody was allowed to take 3 months from the job if they'd been employed pre-war. Some blokes went back to work after a fortnight now, but I
Yeah.
took the 3 months off.
Okay. And when did you meet Auntie Lou?
When?
Yeah.
When?
How did you meet Auntie Lil?
How?
When did you meet Auntie Lil?
1944 maybe, before the end of the war. I think. They write you from Germany, I think.
No, you didn't. I met you at the dance after the war. Must have been somebody
no.
else you were writing to.
Was it love at first sight?
I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, I think well done. Oh, would you
Thank you very much.
Well done.
say about
You are.
Oh, yes. Final thing, would you like to show your Legion of Honour? The Medal of your Legion of Honour, yes.
Very
And
impressive.
let's just adjust that so you can see that. And did you go? They sent that through. They sent that through the post today.
Yeah,
Okay. Right.
had it on board, you know, but and I've got a list of consul here.
Yeah.
Get in touch with. I haven't been in touch with them, but I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. All right, that's the formal part of it over.